Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we are going on a really fascinating 5,000-year journey exploring the evolution of human connection. We're going to dive into the incredible story of the letter and look at how the simple act of sending a message transformed from literal pigeons to digital pixels, completely shaping human history along the way.
So I want you to imagine something for a second. What if we just cut off all the world's communication channels? Like right now. No phones, no internet, absolutely no instant messaging. Imagine having to wait weeks just to tell someone I miss you. You can't just send a quick text or snap a photo. We totally take it for granted today because a modern message is basically weightless, right? It's like this tiny electronic bird flying right out of our pockets. With one single click, our words are on the complete opposite side of the globe. But actually getting to this point, that took thousands of years of innovation.
If we rewind, say, 5,000 years ago, a letter wasn't even a physical thing. You literally couldn't hold it in your hands. It was strictly an oral message. A physical courier had to memorize your exact words and then run miles upon miles to deliver them to someone in person. That is such a crazy sharp contrast to those weightless electronic birds in our pockets today.
It's honestly incredible watching how this builds over time. About 5,000 years ago, the Sumerians invent the very first writing system, which lets them actually etch messages into heavy clay tablets. Then jump to around 3,000 years ago, and courier pigeons take to the skies to send info. Move forward to 2,500 years ago, we see horseback couriers taking over, followed by the highly organized Roman postal system, the cursus publicus, about 2,000 years ago. But notice the vibe here. During all these ancient eras, communication was strictly about utility. It was a tool for state information and survival, not really a vessel for human emotion.
A perfect example of this hardcore pursuit of efficiency is the Chapar-khaneh. This was the ancient Persian system of relay stations for horseback couriers, and it was specifically designed for rapid message delivery. Just like that Roman system we just talked about, these massive ancient empires prioritized moving critical information over huge distances as quickly as humanly and, well, animally possible.
So the real question is, when did things change? When did a message stop being just a tactical troop report and start being something deeply personal? Well, as we transition into the Middle Ages, the whole paradigm dramatically shifts. There's this beautiful quote that captures it perfectly. The letter evolved from a simple message to a symbol of love. We finally step away from purely transactional messages and enter this incredible era of deep emotion and romance.
Suddenly, in monasteries all across the world, monks start treating writing as a sacred art. We're talking incredibly beautiful calligraphy. Letters are being lovingly secured with heavy wax seals and tied up with delicate ribbons. Over in ancient Persia, letter writing is elevated to a highly respected literary art form called munshat. I want you to just imagine the tactile weight of a thick piece of parchment, sealed with hot wax, completely crafted by hand. Think about that incredible, deliberate warmth, and contrast it with our modern, intangible digital messages. The medium truly became an art form all on its own.
But then in 1837, the rules of reality just completely change. The Industrial Revolution hits, the telegraph is invented, and boom, everything is different. We go from the speed of a galloping horse to the speed of an electric pulse. For the very first time in human history, communication is fundamentally decoupled from transportation. You no longer need a physical person or an animal to carry a message. The era of the handwritten, artistic letter just violently collides with the Industrial Revolution's relentless pursuit of instant connection. Communication is suddenly immediate.
And literally just 3 years later, in 1840, we enter a totally new era of accessibility. England drops the penny black, which was the world's very first postage stamp. All of a sudden, sending a letter wasn't just this expensive luxury for the elite or an artistic endeavor for monks. It became accessible, standardized, and most importantly, incredibly fast for everyday people.
Just look at how this acceleration compounds. We jump from relying on horses to the massive iron engines of the train and the steamboat, which completely multiplied delivery speeds globally. Then, the telegraph turns our actual words into electrical signals. And finally, the typewriter arrives on the scene. These steps show exactly how technology rapidly took a slow, intensely personal handwritten art form and transformed it into a fast, standardized mechanical process. Which brings us to this fascinating juxtaposition we live with today. We're in an era of pure digital speed. Emails and texts zip across the globe in fractions of a second. Yet, on the other side of the coin, we have analog warmth. I mean, why do we still send physical paper letters for weddings or birthdays? Because this right here is our modern digital dilemma. We possess this unprecedented speed, but man, we still deeply crave the nostalgic warmth and physical permanence of paper for our most human moments. Now, obviously, this digital landscape isn't perfect. While social media and SMS are absolutely our modern forms of letter writing, they come with huge new challenges that ancient couriers never had to sweat over. We're constantly battling to protect data privacy and ensure information security. But honestly, perhaps the most profound challenge we face today is retaining human warmth in pixels. How do we make a glowing digital screen feel as personal as a handwritten note sealed with wax?
Let's just take a breath here for a second and really think about what this means. The letter is the silent teacher of history. That is powerful. This incredibly simple invention taught humanity how to send our words on a journey. It taught us how to capture our deepest emotions on a physical surface, and maybe, most importantly, it taught us how to create true, genuine closeness despite immense physical distances. When you step back and look at this entire incredible journey, evolving from heavy clay tablets to delicate paper to the electric pulse and finally to instant email, you realize something pretty crucial. The true value of a message, it has never actually been about its speed. The true value lies entirely in the human words and the raw emotions that it carries across time and space.
Which brings us to one final question for you to ponder today. What piece of human history will your next message carry? Whether you're firing off a quick text, drafting up a formal email, or sitting down to actually write a physical letter, those simple words are joining a 5,000-year-old journey. They carry a piece of your history. If you found this explainer as fascinating as I did, definitely make sure to subscribe for more explainers where we break down the incredible stories hiding behind our world. Until next time, remember that history is hidden in the smallest details of our lives. Keep sending great messages.